Hello, Miami. I'm so excited. Hi, I'm Queen D, and I'm so excited to be here in Miami. Yes, this place is full of beautiful people, great food. The vibe is chill, and it's because it's also Art Basel Week, you know. And what I love about it is all about art. It's all about entertainment. But I'm excited and delighted because I have a wonderful guest here with me. Her name is Farah Lalanne. Hi, Farah.
Hi, yes, my name is Farah Lalanne. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you spending your morning with me. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
You are a beautiful woman, but you're inside and out because we did a little bit of talking before we started this show. I've learned so much about you. And I just thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So first I want to start off by saying that Farah is an author, and she gave me this book as a gift. And I love gifts, and this is just wonderful because it's a plan and so much. I need this. Hello, I need to plan my life. But this came out of, you said manifestation, right?
Yes.
And I love the word manifestation. And we're going to talk about a little bit about that. So tell us a little background about you.
Yes, so again, my name is Farah Lalanne. I am originally from Michigan, but I have been in South Florida for the past 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
I am a mother, a wife, a serial entrepreneur,
Wow.
And I work in corporate America in human resources.
Okay, she's a superwoman, okay? Like all moms out there.
Yes.
So let's talk about how you came up with the idea for this wonderful book, because everybody needs to go out and buy this, okay? Let's talk about this wonderful planner.
Thank you. So for me, I have always been about manifestation and about the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about that energy that you put out in the universe is what you will get back. It's about asking the universe for what it is that you want. And really, it's all about me providing those tools and those resources to help women like myself really stick to their goals and be consistent and get to the next level and be the best version of themselves. So in this book, I'm all about vision boards because I truly believe that, you need to think about who you are today and where you want to go in the future and write that down, right?
Yes,
if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to have a husband, you want to have a business, put it down. Speak life into it, right?
Yes.
Write your goals. I'm all about SMART goals because a lot of the times why a lot of women cannot achieve those goals is because we don't know how to. You got to be specific about it, right?
Absolutely.
You have to be able to measure it, right?
Absolutely.
So that it can be attainable. It has to be relevant. Like, why are you doing it? And you have to set a date. Because if you have an open-ended goal, and you're just going to just keep on, and there's nothing, no parameters around it, right?
Absolutely. It's kind of like a mouse on a wheel. It's like you just keep going and going. You can't get anywhere because you haven't made a set date.
Absolutely.
It's so important to have a set date. It's just like gestation, When you manifest something, even when you get pregnant, you have to have an ended date for the baby to give birth, right? You have to give birth to whatever you believe in, right?
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm so excited to have Farah here, because this queen here is all about what I'm about, which is manifestation.
That's right.
We can't do anything without manifestation, can we? But you have to have some faith, right? It has to be a spiritual journey. You just can't you have to believe in your heart and soul.
And you got to do the work.
And you got to do the work. Everybody wants God to be Santa Claus.
That's right. Right. They don't want to do the work. And that's what it's about.
I'm waiting on you.
Right.
Okay.
You got to get your whole self together. Finances, credit, all of that. Like I was telling you earlier, one of the things that's the hardest for me is being consistent about my weight loss journey. That's a work in progress, but everything else I'm on.
You know what? But weight loss is for everybody because I'm always on a journey with weight loss. I think that all women, I'm going to say women first, we all suffer from that, but we also know that that's a mediocrity thing. That's something from the commercialism of everything, because we all are beautiful in our own right, and we are original in our own right. And if we can just accept ourselves, if we are on a so-called weight loss program, it's because we just want the best version of who we are for our health first,
That's
right?
That's what it's about.
Without health, no wealth,
That's
okay?
right, because you can be thin but not healthy.
And not healthy.
You know, I
right?
want to live a long life. As you see, we're down here in South Florida. It's beautiful. You see all these people on the beach.
I'm
I
feeling
just want to feel good in my skin.
Yes, I'm feel good in the skin you're in.
That's right.
You're speaking my language. Yes, I understand. And you know, it's so funny you said something about that, because my son at once said to me, "Mommy, you're skinny fat." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But I got what, kids will tell you. But what he was saying is, you might be slim, but you're not healthy. You know, so you need to do a little exercise. You know, a lot of people don't like that word exercise, but exercise is what you define the best version of you and how you do it. If you want to swim, swim. If you want to walk, walk. If you want to gym, do that.
That's right.
Do something, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love that. And what I love about this book, and I'm going to again highlight this, I love this planner, is because it's all step by step and how to do it. Yeah. So let's start with the first step. Let's talk about that.
So I feel like once you decide who you want to be, you have to figure out the steps. And that is the number one is self-awareness. Where are you today?
Woo, yes.
Where are you today? So I asked some very challenging questions in the very beginning. What excuses are you telling yourself? Right? A lot of the times we're not where we want to be in life because somebody told us that we couldn't, or we don't believe enough in ourselves.
Right.
So I challenge people. What is that brick wall? That's number one. Who are you? What is your 30-second elevator pitch? A lot of people don't have one. You should, if somebody asks, Queen D, who are you? Farah Lalanne, who are you? You know, I am, like I told you, I am a serial entrepreneur. I create tools and resources to help women become the best version of themselves.
Yes, you gotta know who you are, because I know Queen D knows what her purpose is. And my purpose is to motivate, encourage, inspire, and to live my purpose. Why I'm here on this planet, you know, I also am an entrepreneur because we got to make some money, don't we?
We have to, and then
we got to live, right? We got to eat.
That's right. And then I also, because I know a lot of the time, especially, you know, in society, we do equate success with money as well, right? But I ask people, listen, if money were not a factor, what would you be doing with your life? What would truly make you happy? And when I ask women to dig deep, a lot of women are like, I would like to just be on an island where nobody knows where I am. I would like to be in a cabin. I would just like, you know what I mean? So a lot of the times they're not saying, oh, I want a yacht, I want a this. So what does that look like to you? So that you could have that absolute peace in your life.
Let that resonate in your spirits, everybody. This is Sunday blessings for everybody. Okay, let that resonate. Because when you said that, the first thing I picture, of course, is water, an island, relaxing. See, wealth is not just about finances. It's about what it takes to have a healthy, wealthy life, right? And what we really want is love, peace, joy, serenity. That's right. That's what we really want. You know, we all want the same things. Whether you are living in a small house or a big house, you still gonna want the same thing, right? Yeah. And it's also wonderful when you have a partner to share that with. If you have children, if you love children or your pets, all these things make a wealthy life. It does. And when you have that, you feel good. You feel good. That's what it's about. Finding your niche and enjoying yourself. And also, wouldn't you say that as you get older, I would say more seasoned, because you know, because when you're seasoned, you know, a little sprinkle on that, you know, you're going to keep reinventing yourself. You're not going to be the same as you were at 18 and 20 and 30. You're just going to keep changing, aren't you? Discovering new things about you. Wouldn't you say that?
Elevation. And that's why every year I have an annual vision board party. And what I do is...
I'm going to her party.
Every year. And I have the women, they bring their vision board from the year before. But now I have it in my book. So I was like, just bring your book. But we talk about, did you accomplish these goals or not, right? Because here's the thing, you can set a goal and then in a couple months, you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. That's perfectly fine. You can pivot, take it off your board and keep it moving. Right?
I agree, because you can have a strategy that fails, But what you do is just change it up.
That's right.
Your strategy may be right.
Yeah.
Your vision may be right, but you might just have to change your strategy.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we have to do that, and it doesn't mean you're a failure. It's actually you're learning. We learn from failure, not from success.
That's
I
right.
always say, and that's what's important. And I love what you say, because I used to have a lot of women at my house, and we would always have this prayer, and we would pray for each other.
Yes.
And have our vision. But let's talk about the negative part of that. And I want to talk about how you have to be careful who you let in your circle.
Yes.
Okay? Not everybody deserves to be in your space.
That's right.
With your vision.
That's right. Yes, I had to learn that the hard way a lot of times.
Yes.
And a lot of the times it's the closest people to you, whether it's friends, family, co-workers. You just can't let everybody, like my husband say, in your game room, because everybody, they don't see the vision.
They don't see the vision.
You know, I was listening to something this morning where a woman said, or maybe it was on one of your podcasts, but a woman said, don't tell them your vision, show them your commercial.
Okay, I love that. Yes,
I said, I gotta write that down, because it's the truth. You know, because a lot of the times people, they can't see past what's in front of them.
Exactly. And another thing is, when you start growing, you'll know who's really in your corner.
Oh, yes.
You know, Queen D had to learn that the hard way. and I'll tell you something else. It can hurt.
It does hurt.
It hurts because you feel that, why are they behaving this way? Why are they feeling this way, right?
Yeah.
And you feel that you're doing something positive, and then but where does that negativity come from? It goes back to what you were talking about. It goes back not feeling self-fulfilled.
That's right. And that can, I feel that it even goes back to childhood as well, because I feel like, especially being a Black woman, you know, who told you that you couldn't accomplish these things?
Right.
You know, a lot of the times, thank God, I have a strong Black mother that always pushed me to be independent, to learn and to grow, and to always like better myself. And that's what, that's right, Queen Mom.
Yes.
Right? And so for me, I want to instill that in my daughter. You know, that's very, very important that she knows that you can accomplish anything.
That is wonderful, because everybody don't have that.
Yeah.
And so you have to find mentors and people who love and support you, who are in your corner.
Yes.
You know, because not everybody has a mom or a dad that's supporting that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, in Queen D, transparency. A lot of times your family don't see your vision.
Yeah.
You know, for example, my mom, and Mom, I know you're going to see this. She said, why are you always traveling? Aren't you ever satisfied? And I said, no.
That's right.
I'm not satisfied till I'm in the grave, okay?
Ooh, I love that. Yeah.
Okay, because God don't want you to be complacent and satisfied. He wants you to continue to grow.
Yes.
That's why you have purpose. That's why you're here. That's why you were born.
Yes, we have to break that shackled mentality.
Yes.
Like, we are not slaves. We have the resources. You know, you got to get outside. You have to figure out, you got to get outside, and you have to start networking. Go to those uncomfortable business conferences and walk around with your business cards or whatever. Because if people don't know who you are.
Right. She said the key word here is networking. For example, Queen D and my partner, we went to Basel. Now, this was my first time.
Nice.
So you know for sure that you're not going to be with just one race of people. You're not going to be with just your community.
Of course.
So this was a big step for me.
Yes.
You know? So there I am out there, and I deliberately said, I will not just focus on my community. Go up to everybody that you feel drawn to.
Yeah.
And network with them, even if it's uncomfortable. And I was blessed because my mother loves The Bachelor. Okay. And she was watching The Golden Bachelor. And I met the host. He just happened to be walking by. We was watching this show religiously for years. My mother loves it, and I get bored with it, but that's what she loves. But I did get caught onto this Golden Bachelor because I wanted to see how people, as they age, manifest and continue their life journey. And so there, he's walking right by me. And I stopped and said, wait a minute, I can't be him. And he shook my hand, and we talked about what inspires him with art. So I said, I manifested it in my life and didn't even realize it, okay?
See, I love that. And also with
Yes.
social media,
Yes.
we have to take advantage. Like they used to say back in the day, there's a 6 degree
Yes.
separation.
Yes.
It's not that
It's
anymore.
not.
It could just be one person.
One
And then
person.
also, if you meet somebody and they can't necessarily help you,
Yes.
ask,
Ask
well,
for help.
can you pass my contact
Yes.
information, or can
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You just got to open up your mouth and be bold.
You got to be bold. You got to be bold for what you want.
That's
you
right.
know. And so I had decided. I said, hey, I'm going to talk to whoever it is. I don't care what race they are. I'm going to enjoy this beautiful atmosphere and
Yes.
vibe with people. And because that's what it's about. It's about people, isn't
Yes.
it? It's really, I love my community of people, but I also
Yes.
understand that there is other people
Yeah.
out there as well.
Yes.
And so we have to learn to love everybody, don't we?
Yes. And you know what? When you talked about, your circle,
Mhm.
I truly believe that it's good to
Yeah.
surround yourself around people
Positive
that
people.
are, and also that are doing better than you.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if you're the smartest one in your group,
Okay, time to
you
move
need to,
on.
you know what I mean?
How-
You need to
how you gonna grow,
reassess.
right?
Exactly.
How you gonna grow?
You're at the top. They're
Yes.
praising you. No, you
Yes.
need to get around the
Yes.
people that make you feel a little bit smaller and
Yes,
uncomfortable.
yes,
You
yes.
know, that makes you feel like, oh, I need to work a little bit harder.
That's right, and that's why I was so excited to go to Basel. I was like, okay, I'm talking to the host of a
It's
show
humbling.
now, and it's humbling. I'm talking to all these people.
Yeah.
Got a chance to see Chance the rapper. Sat in the front
Nice.
row. Let me tell you about God. When I came in last, the lady said, have a seat in the front. And put me in the first reserved
See?
seat right by him. I mean,
That's
literally,
anointing
like I'm
right
talking
there.
to you.
Mhm.
And I said, look at God. Because when you are manifesting
That's right.
something, God will put you there.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta go, okay, God, I'm a little uncomfortable, but hey,
Yeah.
you put me here. I asked for it.
Yeah.
So be careful what you ask for, because
Yeah.
what, the more you're
Yeah.
responsible for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a good thing, though, right?
Yeah,
It's growth.
too many people, they are too comfortable and too
comfortable.
complacent.
Yeah.
Once you're to that point,
It's time
there
to
is
move
no
on.
growth.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. Once you get comfortable, you got to get out of your comfort zone
Yeah.
and keep challenging yourself.
And mentors, like they
Yes.
say, like create. What did a woman recently tell me? She said, create a board of directors in your life.
Yes.
Each person is going to serve a different value.
Yes, I love that.
But what I've learned too, a lot of people who have what we would say made it, they do want to help.
Yes.
You know, they
Yes.
want to help. Tell them, can you help me?
Yes.
Can you train me?
Yes.
I just want to be a sponge and learn.
Yes.
They love that.
Oh yeah, people underestimate other people, because
Mhm.
artists, and that's what we all are, artists when you
Yeah.
think about it.
Mhm.
Love talking and helping,
Yeah.
and people think something else about them, but that might be listening to the media. But
Yeah.
really, they love helping. If you ask for help, they really will help you,
Absolutely.
and they are excited about helping, because everybody has teacher in them.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, so that is exciting. So let's rewind a little bit. So give me a little bit of your background. So where did you grow up?
So I'm originally from Michigan. So I was born in Detroit, but I was raised in Ypsilanti. A lot of people are like, "Where is that?"
Okay,
It's
where
right.
is that?
It's right out. Right. It's right outside of Ann Arbor. Everybody knows the University of Michigan, right?
Okay, yes.
Yep. So grew up in a college town, but a lot of people, they don't really know. Like I grew up really from humble beginnings.
Uh-huh.
Like when I tell you we were poor. We were poor. We lived in shelters at a point.
Wow.
My mother, she went through a bad divorce, but my
Okay.
mother was so strong, and
Yes.
she showed us education first.
Yes.
So although it took her a long time to finish college, she graduated from college when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
She didn't stop.
Wow,
I
she
think
was
she was
determined.
I think she was like 49 years old or something,
That's
probably one of
hard.
the older,
Yes.
people in her
Yes.
class, but she taught us that. And
Yes.
so although we grew up in the projects, I was bullied because I talked a little proper, that's okay, but I always surrounded myself around people that had a vision.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All my friends have master's degrees.
Uh-huh.
We're all entrepreneurs. We all
Yes.
work in corporate America or higher education, things of that nature. So I'm very picky about who I do let in my circle. And then even if it's some people that may not have those credentials, and that's totally fine.
Yes, yes.
But when you think about what is your purpose in life?
Right.
My purpose is to
Yes.
help people become the
Yes.
best version of themselves. But for me, after I graduated, I said, I don't want to be around this. No, it's depressing to me, right? A lot of people go through seasonal depression. It's a very real thing.
It is.
Okay, and so I was working for Comcast. I had been I worked there for 8 years. You know, I was working there in undergrad. I worked a full-time job and went to school full-time.
Yes.
That's how hungry I was. After I got that degree, I said, okay, what's next for me? So I started, I was applying to California, to Houston, Texas, to Atlanta, Georgia, and then I applied to West Palm Beach. They let me transfer. I came down here, and the rest is history. I built a life. I've been with my husband for 12 years.
That's wonderful.
You know, we've been married for 10 years, going on 10 years, and then we have an 8-year-old daughter.
That's wonderful. And you know, I love your story because it shows you how you just kept climbing, scaffolding.
Yes.
You know, and you were hungry. You
Very
kept
much so.
hungry for more, and
Very
just kept
much
going
so.
on. You knew that you had purpose, and you was not going to let anything
At all.
stand in your way. It takes a lot of courage to do that.
It does.
You know, a lot of people you'll meet. I found that interesting that I have actually met people that have never been outside of their own community.
I know.
To the next town.
I don't understand.
I don't get that. You know, because to me, I'm so curious. If someone says, don't go down that block, I want to know why I can't go down that block. You have to give me a good reason.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
But unfortunately, there's people like that. And we know that has something to do with probably how they grew up with something.
Of course.
You know, that, and I really believe that everybody's curious.
Yes.
But something stops them.
Yes.
You know, we don't know what it is, but something stops them.
Yes.
So I just love that. And how you just kept on, because it just takes courage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think too, it's lack of support for some people.
Right.
It takes a different type of person to not have support and to still persevere and just push through. You know, I forgot to mention I do have a stepdaughter. She's 19 years old. She's in college. And she looks up to me. You know what I mean? We have a very, very close relationship. Wonderful. I love her to pieces. Yes. She was my daughter before I had my biological daughter, you know? And so sometimes she feels that she lacks the support in her life. And so that's why she kind of clings to me for that guidance. And so I have my She Makes No Excuses women's group. She attends every month. And she's the youngest person in that group.
That's
you know what I mean? So
you are her champion.
Exactly.
Yes.
I want her to be the best.
Yes, that's wonderful. Yes, and so we know that she's just going to continue to do some great things. We already manifested that.
Right.
All right, we
that's
claiming
right.
that.
She ain't got no choice.
We claiming that.
That's right.
That's wonderful. So now so what would you say to young people out there? Because you mentioned you have a stepdaughter, you have a daughter as well. Yeah? So for young people who might be at home and they're thinking, you know, wow, I can't do this, you know, or they come from humble beginnings, like you said, maybe a very poor, limited background.
Right.
But they just don't have any support. Maybe their parents, or maybe they don't even have parents. You know, what would you say to young people like that?
For me, I feel like, you know, and some people are not religious, and that's totally fine, but I feel like if someone is in church, you know, like lean on your elders. But I feel like you need somebody that you can trust, that's the biggest thing is, you know, sometimes we try to attach ourselves to people and they don't have good intentions for us, right? So I would say find somebody that they trust, you know, find a good mentor that they can they can confide in. And my number one thing, which I didn't learn until more recent, I'll be honest, is keep that credit good. Get that credit, build that credit, because like you can get anything you want with good credit. You don't even have to have money, but if you got that credit, that's what really, really matters. You understand what I'm saying? And it took me a long time, because when I started making money at a young age, I just wanted to shop. I just wanted to shop. I wanted to be in the club.
That ego, you were feeding your heart, you know, those places where you were hurt, you know?
I knew what a 401k was, but I didn't know. All I knew is, wait, you want to take a percentage of money for when I retire and I'm 20, please. I'm thinking I'm going to live until I'm 100. Like, I don't need to worry about that. But, you know, when I think about it, it makes me upset, because I'm like, I could have been a millionaire a long time ago if I had been investing. So I think that, you know, even young people, because they don't teach that. They don't teach that in high school. They barely teach it in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
You have to be intentional about learning about that. Get you a financial advisor. You know, I helped my stepdaughter get her first credit card, and I told her pay it to a zero balance at the end of each month. And her credit is higher than most adults.
That's wonderful.
You know what I mean? So I would say start there.
Yeah. That's really good advice, because our community still suffers from that. Because when you say that our community sometimes want to get rich quick because they look at social media and they see, you know, entertainers, and they say, look, if I just do this, I'm just going to be rich.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification. Even like the lottery winners, you know, they can't keep the money, you know. So that is something that our community really have to work on. That I would say that's one of our shortcomings. We're great people.
Yes.
But one of our shortcomings is we want it now.
Yeah.
We want the accolades now.
Absolutely.
We want the fame and fortune now.
Now we don't
want tomorrow.
We don't want to do the work. You know, like I have been a part of, you know, back in the day, so many what they would call pyramid schemes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you know, all of that. You know, I've done all of that trying to get rich, and you know, it wasn't until I had to say, Farah, you need to just sit down and do the work. Yeah. And that's when I started seeing my bank account change, my zip code change, like all of those things. I had to be consistent and do the work.
Absolutely. That is so important for young people to understand. Because even if you're not a college graduate, if you focus on, and you're working, and if you just focus on 10%, pay yourself and pay God if you believe in the Lord, whatever you believe in, but pay 10% to something, right? And start from there.
Exactly. That's what we say. Even like my mother always used to say, save something. You know what I mean? Now, like for me, I'm very intentional that's how I have my paycheck set up. A percentage automatically goes to savings. I call it my offshore account. I don't even see it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm still growing, and I don't want to go and start dipping in and going shopping.
You're right. You're right. And that's really hard. That's really hard, especially... and I question that, because we have a lot of influencers out there, you know, that I look at on YouTube, and they all push this $2,000 handbag and shoes and clothes, and I'm wondering if that's right, because what it does is it makes everybody desire that type of lifestyle. And a lot of times it's not even their real lifestyle until they have people call them up saying, I want you to sell my product. You know? But everybody's looking at this. And there's nothing wrong with wearing other people's brand. But let's stay intentional and just try to make our own brand, right? Build our own.
That's the thing. We don't own anything. We don't have anything.
What about your brand?
But we're going out here supporting all these other names.
Build your empire.
Exactly.
I don't care.
That's what I say. Like, I'm a big believer in, you know, the more skills that you have, the more value you have. You right?
Absolutely. I love that.
Especially with all the different layoffs you see on LinkedIn all the time, people having to put up that banner because they lost their job. I was a product of a layoff earlier this year. God blessed me immediately with an amazing new career. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's what happens. You know, so if you know more values, like you know how to like I was telling you earlier, during the pandemic when the world shut down, I'm like, I need to figure out how I can make some money, right? So I learned how to design, you know, balloon arches and all of that, because people were still partying. You know, and I made a lot of money during the pandemic doing that.
That was a time of self-reflection. That's something good that came out of the pandemic. We all started thinking about, why am I here, and how long I got on this planet, so to speak, right? What am I going to do with myself? We all started to feel that. And we all still have to continue to think that way.
For sure.
Absolutely. This is exciting. You know, what I liked about when you said about manifestation, we're going to go back to that manifestation, because I was looking at your book, and so we write the goal down, and we talk about a date. Now let's talk about that in-between stuff.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard stuff, right?
That's the hard part. So the in-between, because life is going to life.
How much time do we have?
You know, life is going to life. But I truly feel like it has to make sense for you. What's the true purpose behind that goal, right?
Yes.
Because I'll talk about like my weight loss journey, right? I got a husband. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm out in these streets looking for somebody.
Okay.
You know, of course, I still want to look good and all that, but I do truly feel like that has a lot to do with why I'm a little bit more relaxed. So that's that in between, like, okay, should I eat these chicken wings or this steak or whatever, or should I eat this salad? You know what I mean? So for me, the reward is I want to eat good, so I guess I'm not gonna meet that goal this month. You know what I mean? But then I'll kick myself. You know, my husband was talking about it earlier this morning about when we go on social media and then we look at everybody with these little, you know, these little fit bodies because that's what society is selling to us as beautiful.
Oh, and you know, and it goes from community to community.
Oh yeah.
You know, every community is different.
That's right.
I noticed that the Latinos are not so fixated.
Right.
I've noticed where we are in North Carolina as other, like here, I think they might be a little bit more fixated.
Oh, especially in Miami.
Yeah, in Miami. But depending on what state you're in,
That's
what country you're in, you know, but I know our community, me coming from a Pentecostal background, everything was set around food.
Yes.
Church, after church,
That's
let's
love.
all have some, let's all commune together and talk at the table. And I found that very difficult when I moved to North Carolina because I never saw so much food in my life. They have all you can eat places and all this dessert and salty foods and greasy foods and sugary foods. It was crazy. Yeah. And I had to really, and me coming from a background of fitness and eating right and from, you know, cosmopolitan cities, I was like, oh my God. So at the beginning, I did put on a lot of weight, and then I had to retrain my mind and had to start exercising. And I kept saying, "Where are the gyms?"
Yeah,
and they didn't have gyms, a lot of gyms in North Carolina. So I was happy when they started putting in Planet Fitness, and because I had to go to the Y. Yeah, I had to make it really a hard effort. So it's really hard, depending on where you live.
Yeah, I like what you said, and that is why a lot of us don't accomplish our goals because we feel like it's too hard. So you know what I said? So what I did recently, because I'm working more from home, which means what? I'm sitting down more. I'm not moving as much. So I bought one of those. I've been seeing it all online. So I bought one of those like little mini treadmills. Yeah. And what I do is I take 30 minutes during my lunch, and I get on it and I walk for 30 minutes. That's like a mile and a half for me, and then I do it again at night. So now I've walked 3 miles and I've burnt all those calories. You get what I mean? So we have to pivot. It doesn't mean that you can't, like, if you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym, but you need to move.
Yeah, you need to move, and it's for your own health. That's really the number one thing, so you can build that wealth. That's right. That's what it's all about, right? That's what. And you want to be here for your family. Yes. So you want to be here for your children, your loved ones. You know, you want to feel good too. And sometimes people don't like to hear this. I don't want to talk about no diet, and that is probably the mood you're in because you're feeling unhappy with something. In your life,
that's true.
Right?
And it's more so in our Black community.
It's in our community, you know, it's in our community, and we don't like to talk about it and everything, but it's so important. We can't stress it enough how important it is. You know, and we all have a different genetic makeup.
That's right. And
so we have to go to, I always say, go to your physician.
Yes.
Find out what your health is. Yes. And then go from there.
That's what it's about.
Just step by step and just scaffold it up. Yeah. You know, you have to have a plan.
Exactly. And that's how I break my goals down in the book. We talk about, you know, spirituality. We talk about, you know, health and fitness. We talk about financial fitness. We talk about education and business goals. You know, just all those different things. That is what truly shapes your life. Right? And so if you could be fit in all of those areas, that's the best version of yourself.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Again, I have to show you this beautiful book she gave me. Yeah. You have to purchase this book. It's wonderful. Yeah. I love it. And I'm going to start using it.
Thank you.
You know, because I have so many spiral books, because all creators write a lot.
Of course.
As you know. I have so many books of just writing. It's like I just can't write enough. So you know, and I have a teacher's background. So, you know, starting off as a special needs teacher. Okay. You know, with special needs, we always say we meet people where they are.
That's right. Equity. That's right. Yes.
And so we always say it's not what you can't do, it's what you can do.
I love that.
And that's literally how I got the job too, because when I came in and she says to me, so what would you say with children, and you know, because you know we all did the education part.
Right.
You know, so the first job was like, so she said, so how do you feel about working with children? And I said, I love children. I said, it's not. And I said this, I said, it's not what they don't know, it's what they do know. You meet them where they at.
That's right. I love that.
And then she was like, oh, let me show you around.
Like, come on in, we need you. We need you.
You know?
Exactly.
You know?
And you know what? I want to piggyback off that comment because that's something that I try to teach as well. Is the fact you don't have to be an expert.
Right.
You just got to know a little bit more than your audience.
That's right.
That's it. You know what I
right.
mean? And then you keep on learning, growing, reading, you know, manifesting all of those types of things so that you can that you can become an expert.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people, they don't start because they feel like, oh, I don't have the credentials. People are not going to take me, you know, serious and all of that. But it's like, you know what? When you become consistent, that's when people will take you serious.
Yes, and I feel the same like what you said, because I'm a piggyback off of that. You don't have to be an expert.
Right.
God put you here for a reason.
Right.
And if you feel it in your heart and soul, and it's resonating, and if you're drawn to those type of people, that's because that's where you belong. That's your community.
Right.
If you're drawn, because you know, think about people who go to see artists. They will save their money to see that artist because there's something in that artist that resonates in that spirit, right? Yeah. So you know, a lot of times when we talk to people, a lot of people say, well, I don't know if your show is a good fit. And so my assistant said, so what should I say to them? I said, this is what you say to them. Is it not a good fit when you're trying to help other people? Is it not a good fit when you are inspiring others, motivating others? You can never stop inspiring, motivating, educating, networking with people.
That's right.
You know, you can't live
100%.
on this planet by yourself and live by yourself. Everybody needs somebody, and everybody needs a community. And it's something that you will pull from somebody who say something, and you go, you know what? I feel that.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And that's what it's about. And that's why I love what I do, because I love inspiring others. I love, and some say, well, maybe you're an evangelist, and perhaps I am in something. You know, God showed me back in the day. You know, I grew up in the church. He always used to show me visions of me talking to a lot of people. So Bible studies would always say, well, would you like to go with us and do this with us? And you know, but everybody has to find out what works for them.
That's right.
When you work against yourself, let's talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, this is very important.
Yes,
we are.
Let's talk about it.
As long as you have the mental capacity, you can do anything.
That's right. Yes.
But are you professionally wrong?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah. That's, you know what, and this goes back to, I am all about reinventing myself. I don't have, if I want to change professions, I can't. You know what I mean? I've been a corporate event planner. I've been working in human resources basically my entire career, you know, doing employee experience and all of that. And, you know, when I look at, okay, I'm about to be 40, what does my life look like? If I want to completely pivot and do something else, I can do that.
You can do that.
Because who told me I can't?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if you're one of those people, and I'm going to go back to this successfully wrong thing, a lot of people, including myself, transparency, everybody in my family is in the medical field.
Okay.
So I automatically thought, well, you know, I want to make a lot of money. Maybe I should be a nurse.
Yes. Yeah.
So I went to train as a nurse.
Okay.
I cried every morning.
Because you hated it.
Because I hated it.
Yes.
I love the people. I loved going on the floor, but I would call my sister up and go, I can't do this.
That's right.
Because it wasn't my calling.
That's right.
But I thought, well, everybody else is in the family doing it. I can make money and this is going to be great.
Right.
So a lot of people get caught up with, my father's a doctor, maybe I'm supposed to be a doctor.
Yes.
And we're not saying that may not be true, but you have to really look inside yourself and see what you're really feeling.
I agree 100%. And then you'll see it, especially down here. There's a lot, this is the melting pot. So you have a lot of Caribbean. For context, I used to work at a university. And I would meet a lot of students, especially like female students,
Mm-hmm.
and their Haitian parents or their Jamaican parents, you're going to school to be a nurse. And you know, at that point I was working in admissions, and my heart just went out to them because now they are entering in a profession that they don't even want to do. It's going to make good money, and it's going to make the family name look good, but they're going to be miserable. And honestly, you know, that's why a lot of people are taking their lives, because they are miserable.
A lot of Indian community kids have committed suicide because of that in high school.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, and then the people will say, "Oh, well, this person was so successful. You know, why could they do that? They were miserable.
They were unhappy.
That's one of my personal core values. Is I'm going to do what's going to make me happy.
Makes you
because
happy.
I have to live my life whether you like it or not.
That's right. I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
So find your niche, and if you're not sure what that is, let's talk about that meditation. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So, well, let me tell you one thing about niche that I almost forgot.
Yes.
So one of the other things, and I forgot the woman that came up with it, but it's called finding your sweet spot. And this And this is an exercise that I teach women. Take out a sheet of paper and write a column. What do I like to do? What am I good at? Because I like to sing, but I'm not good at it, right?
I know Whitney Houston.
And then what will people pay me to do?
Yes.
When you can find where those three intersect, that is where your purpose, your passion, right? Because if you wake up every day and you're doing something that you love, right? You're good at it. So you're going to get that recognition, that praise, right? And you're getting your coin from it. That's the American dream. And so many people are not living in that sweet spot.
No, they're not.
Right?
No, they're not.
And so as far as meditation, I am all about self-care and personal time. On Sundays, I typically sleep in, you know, because I don't sleep during the week. Like I told you, like during the week, I am up on TikTok University, on YouTube University, trying to teach myself how to do things. But at night, that's when I really take my time, and I have to like really get in my Zen mode and just be thankful. I count my blessings. I'm very thankful for my family, gratitude, right? And then on the weekends, I don't want to do anything. Like, you know what I mean? If I want to go out with my friends or with my husband, or if I want to sit up and watch TV, I've done my work. I've done what I was supposed to do all during the week. I'm going to do that.
Absolutely. I agree with you. You know, it's so important, but I love the word self-care.
Yes.
Self-care is not selfish.
Yes.
Don't feel guilty about needing
that.
Don't feel guilty about needing that self-care.
Yes,
it's not
like
selfish. That. You have to take time for yourself. If you're not good for you, you cannot serve other people.
You can't. You can't. And you're gonna feel drained.
Yes.
You don't have that energy. And when you don't have positive energy, you're going to attract negative energy, right? That's what we talk about. If you're in a traffic jam, that's how you just set the tone for your whole day.
No means next, everybody. Okay? No means next.
That's right.
Because a lot of people don't know how to say no.
Ooh, I'm working on that too.
We're working on that, right?
No is an answer.
Yes.
And
no
not
is the answer.
And not having to explain your no.
Yes. Don't explain your no. You shouldn't have to. You know it's not right for you. You know you need your time.
Yes.
Your time is so important to you.
Because you can't get it back.
You can't get it back.
It is very valuable. And that's what, you know, a lot of people, we took a personality test recently when we did a summit at work. And, you know, a lot of people, most of the world, they test as being an obliger. A person that will say yes to everything, but then will resent the fact that they said yes because they still got to pull through and actually do it.
That. Yeah, we all have. Yeah,
exactly. So for me, I am trying to. I've gotten much better at it, but I am still that person that gives the whole, you know, synopsis around why I can't do it. But it's just it's a no. If it's not going to serve me in a way that's working towards bettering myself,
it doesn't
you
serve
know,
you.
no, thank you.
Gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. So important, because what happens is when you don't say no, you just wear yourself down. You know,
then you don't have any energy to create, to learn and grow and build. Yeah,
absolutely. So learn to say no.
Yes.
Don't get caught up in that, because your life can make you feel like you're on a treadmill.
Oh my goodness.
The treadmill of life. You gotta get off that treadmill.
Yes.
Yes, don't we? Especially A-type personalities. We
Which is I.
gotta know when to stop before you fall over.
Yep, you have to. You gotta take some time and take a vacation. I feel like a lot of like the Black community, we don't really vacation.
Do that.
You know,
we're not as short on Instagram. Though. But that's not a real vacation.
Exactly.
We talking about a real vacation.
Yeah, put the camera down.
That's what I was gonna say. A real vacation, you don't want the camera.
Yeah, put the camera
you don't
down.
want no one to know where you at.
Put the phone down. Exactly. Like, you know, and I feel like, you know, because people get so caught up in social media, right? They want that's all they're doing is walking around with the phone, caption, but you're not even able to
not even socialize and
enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? And that's how a lot of people get robbed, because you done told everybody that you're out in the state. Like, come on, post that after.
Yes, people don't need to know all of your whereabouts.
That's right.
That's not a good thing.
Exactly.
It could be unsafe.
Yes,
you know,
safety
especially
is
for
key.
the people out there who was obsessed with, I'm going here, I'm doing that.
Yes.
Everybody don't need to know everything.
That's right.
And also understand something about social media, that there's a lot of people who are jealous and envious of you.
Yes.
And they want to see you fall.
The snake.
Yes. So we have to learn how to discern.
Yes.
Learn to discern.
I love that. Absolutely.
Yes.
No, you're 100% correct. And like we said before, like even some of the closest people to you. So we have to be very careful about the information that we are sharing.
And listen, you can have negative people in your family that you love very much.
Yeah.
I love my mom, and she knows I've said that she has to stop being negative.
Yeah.
Because it could be the way she grew up. She grew up in a silent era. And, you know.
Yep.
And so everything if I say it's beautiful outside, she says, yeah, but it might rain.
Yeah.
Excuse my phone. Turn off the phone, please. Thank you. Thank you. We will edit this out. Clay, can you get it? You got it? Thank you. Yes. I forgot to turn off that phone, darn it. Oh, I had my music on. But let's go back. So, did you turn off that for that? No? Okay, we'll edit that. Okay.
I got that part. I turned that off.
Okay, yeah. So, what I was talking about is, if I say to my mother, oh, it's so beautiful out, the sun is shining, she goes, yeah, but it might rain. Like, where did that come from?
Ooh,
you know?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to be flying out tomorrow. Did you see that crash that happened on in the Ukraine?
Yep.
You know, there's always something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, can we just, even with Jamie Foxx, let's talk about that. The entertainment world, Jamie Foxx. And the reason why I bring him up is because he went through a very traumatic experience, and we're just so thankful that he is alive and well. He did the work. But I loved when he accepted his award. Yeah. You know, and he was like, Lord have mercy, you know, this is a testimony, you know?
That's right.
I love when he accepted the award. But he talked about how he had to stay private. Yeah. And how important it was. And he talked about how hard it was, but how grateful and thankful it is. Yeah. But he is a testimony about how important it is to have a safe space. That's right. With positive energy. Yeah, I don't have to share everything. You don't need to tell everything, especially when you're in the on the battlefield. Yeah, because you need that peace. Yes. So you can get healthy. Yes. Yeah. We have to have that. Yeah. Once you start reading all the comments, then that's going to take your mind somewhere. Yeah. Yep. We just have to start being quiet, and we have to keep those naysayers or those people with the negative energy completely away from it. I'm real big on that. Like if every time I talk to you, I feel drained after the conversation, no thank you. I'm going to limit that. No, your stomach start turning on you. Yeah, no thank you. Yes, that's why we even have to block certain people. You have to block. Yeah, even if it's like a business event or whatever, I'm gonna drive myself because I need to be able to exit left if I feel the need to. I love that. I love that. Okay, see you later. I gotta have control of this situation. Yeah, absolutely. Having that control, that's my safe space. Yes, like I need to be able to get on out of here if I need to. Exactly. I don't like to be stuck. Yeah, let's talk about bucket lists. We all, you're doing so many things. You're accomplishing so much. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and I just love your book. I can't wait to get started checking my stuff off, because I'm a gift giver.
Okay.
So when I receive something, I'm just so excited.
Yes,
I'm
that's
so
your
excited.
love language.
Yes, I like, it's not even my love language.
No.
Mine is service.
Okay.
Mine is service and affirmations. I had to find out what my love language was.
Yeah.
And that is because growing up, I didn't get the affirmations and things,
Yeah.
But my father and mother did teach me about service, and I love serving and helping people. I've done a lot of community work and all that. And let's talk about that. You've done a lot of things too in your background too. So tell us about the community part and everything.
Yeah, so for me, I'm definitely, like I said, growing up, for about like maybe a year or so, living in the homeless shelter. Well, it was really for like battered women and children back in the day, so for me, anytime I can give back. So like I was telling my husband today, I'm like, you know what, before this year ends, I'm going to purge and get rid of all of my old clothes. Like I have clothes from like 10 years ago.
You sound like me. I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I have to let it go.
Nice stuff, because I paid my money for it.
That's
it's hard for me to get rid of it. So I want to be able to give my business professional clothes and donate it to the women that need it. You know what I mean? Wonderful. So for me, when I give back, of course, like men need the help too, but I am solely focused on the women. You know what I mean? Because we run the world.
And listen, you know what? We have to think about that, because women need clothes more than men, wouldn't you say? Because we buy more.
Absolutely.
We're the one that keeping the economy going, okay?
Our bodies change the most.
Yes. A man, he's going to buy what he needs and he's out the door.
And
don't be trying to sell him nothing, because he's not staying in the stores. We will be in the store in the mall for 2 or 3 hours if we want to, okay? We make a big deal and have dinner and come back again. That's what we do, right?
Absolutely.
But women need clothes, especially when they're trying to look for jobs.
Yes.
And they want to look nice, and they need their hair done.
Yes.
They need products, lotion, toothpaste, especially if they're in a shelter. That's very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I see, homeless women outside, like just being able to give them a care package, so in corporate America, we always will identify like different organizations that we can adopt, so to speak.
Yes.
Of course, children as well, like Toys for Tots, things like that, women in distress, all of those types of different organizations, they definitely resonate with me, because I was one of those kids, right? Growing up and not really having much, my mother had to humble herself big time, and I love her for it. And so, because we wouldn't have had any Christmas gifts or whatever, but we had so much because she got up with all these different organizations. So it's just me paying it forward.
Absolutely. I understand what you're saying. It resonates in my spirit. There was a time when I was living in New Jersey where I did so much outreach, like you said, Toys for Tots, homeless women and single parents who couldn't pay their rent. We did a lot for the church, but the church also was very helpful to me, because once I got separated from my husband, the church really embraced me, and they would surprise me with gift cards of $500 and all kinds of things, So it resonates in my spirit how important it is for us to always give back.
Absolutely.
Always. And we talked about our community with finances, because a lot of them are only a paycheck away from being homeless.
Ooh, I try to tell people that. Yeah.
So you be thinking you okay, and you could be a paycheck away from being homeless.
Literally. Because a lot of the times we put too much faith in man, right? And so that's why I say you need to have multiple streams of income.
Yes. Especially now, right?
Especially now.
Especially now. The world is changing.
Right, because at the end of the day, like a lot of corporations, they're still having to close their doors. It's not that they want to lay people off, but they cannot afford it. So then what will you do? Because guess what? That mortgage company, that landlord, they still want their money. So what are you going to do? So that's why it's very important to save. You need to have 3 to 6 months of savings, to be able to take care of all of your bills.
Absolutely. We're living in some very, I'm going to say, interesting, challenging times right now. We don't know what's going on from one day to the next. Sure. So that is so important.
And it's like you can shop, but bargain shop.
Bargain shop.
I've just got introduced to Shein.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and I still get compliments. It's all about knowing how to dress your body and knowing, how to pair certain pieces and things like that. So you can be into fashion or not, but as a Black woman, we have to show up different.
We do have to.
We can't show up in flip flops, and
Yeah,
we have to come
Yes.
with poise,
Yes.
elegance,
Yes.
and we have to smile
Yes.
because we are always
Absolutely.
coined as that angry black woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
You're
know,
so
when
right.
we walk in the door, we
Yes.
need people to say, "Oh, you
Yes.
look nice," all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's on your bucket list?
Oh my God! So I have my plan S in the car, but it's so much. When I think, I set short-term goals and long-term goals. From a long-term, I want to have products in Target. I've been designing like some financial products for women. Like I follow a lot of women on TikTok. That's how I've kind of shifted my page, is doing like these savings challenges. So I think that I might create like a savings challenge book. It's fun. So I'm not sure if you've heard of that 100 envelope challenge. I had started that. Okay. And I've normally not really been like a cash person, but it's fun to, like you pay all your bills, you do all your savings, you do what you need, but you should still do these savings challenges because at the end of the day, it's still savings, it's still your money, but it's showing that, oh, I completed this challenge. So I want to be able to develop some products doing that and really take my She Makes No Excuses line to the next level. So that's one of my larger goals, and to do more of these types of speaking engagements. I see myself doing like large conferences and just bringing women together so that we can network, because I feel like we have it in us, but a lot of I'm just going to be frank, a lot of black women don't get along.
Let's talk about that. And that's so important that you said that, because I really believe that there is a type of generational curse, and I'm going to put it like that goes way back to slavery, with that house versus in-house colorism type of thing.
I would have been in the field.
and so I really believe that that's where it all started.
Absolutely.
Separation of families and different things, pitting us against each other, saying there can only be one.
Yes.
Where Caucasians and other races, you could have many.
Yeah.
Of us always can only. And that's why when I had said earlier, and I put that little plug out about, I don't know if I'm a good fit, and I said to myself, you're African American, right?
That's right. You're right.
You got a company, or you're working hard, right?
That's
why
right.
you can't inspire other people? Why
That's
you can't
right.
encourage other people? What is your goal? Is your goal just to show up on Instagram and say, show people what you have, or is your goal to show other people that, yes, I've done this, and let me see if I can help you make it too.
That's right.
You don't always have to feel like you have to be with a celebrity. And let's think about that. People always want to be a celebrity, but are they willing to pay the price of a celebrity?
Because
I want to be on the after when they got it. But are you going to be there 20 years behind when they were struggling?
Yeah,
okay.
or do you want to be in that limelight to the point where you can't even go to the store without somebody taking pictures and talking about you? Like, you got to have thick skin to be able to be a celebrity.
Skin. You really do. And the more we grow into these things, the more our skin got to put on the full armor.
That's right.
The full armor.
And it's
you know
tough.
what I'm talking about?
It's
the
tough.
full armor.
It's
tough.
It's tough. But to piggyback off what you were saying about, about black women, it does go back to the slavery days. It does go back to colorism, right? Like I was telling Clay earlier, my mother, all her siblings, extremely, as I would say, high yellow. And I'm one of the darker women in my family. So I'll be honest, I grew up with a complex about myself. And I'm like, are you sure you're my mom? I didn't think I was beautiful until I was probably in high school or so. You know what I mean? But I was always friendly.
You had to find your own
I did. I had to,
you love yourself.
That's right. I had to realize, like, Farah, you have a personality that shines through. You have a lot of friends. And that's what really helped me to want to build community and help people. You know what I mean? I've always pretty much had like a a good career, and I've always tried to help women get good careers as well. If they're hiring at my job, girl, send me that resume. Let me get you in here. You know what I mean? But you better do a good job, because my name is on the line.
And that's the thing, because think about it. Caucasians always bring in their people,
Hispanics,
Latinos, right? Every race bring in their people to help them.
You know
why?
Because
it goes back to that generational curse thing.
It does, and because our people feel that the opportunities are limited, because it's very rare to see more of us sitting at the table. So you feel like I gotta secure my spot. You can't sit at the table.
Right.
And that's so sad.
That is so sad. That is so sad.
Yeah.
And that is one of my prayers too. I always say, God, let it be known that we all deserve a seat at the table.
Yes. And if you can't get a seat at the table, build your own.
Yeah, you know what I say? When God gives you the wood, He expects you to do something.
That's
so build a table, build a house,
and bring your own chair.
Make your own chairs. Do what you can do. You know,
but
we have to do that.
We have to stick together. That's the thing. Like we are
so
all
important.
going through the same things.
Same
you know, also
struggles,
you know
challenges.
the whole generational thing. Even going back to me. Being from Michigan, right? That's the big three, the automotive industry, which is where my grandfather was, right? So a lot of the times when those men got into that industry, that's when the money started really coming in. So what do? They move their families out of that neighborhood. So that's where that classism starts. And then that's when, so now this is the ghetto, and then we're over in suburbia.
Right.
So now you got people looking down on people, and that's really... That's where we are, and it still goes on today.
It still goes on, and now we got gentrification
Oh
coming
yes,
in, which is another topic.
A lot down here.
I see it
in Miami.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but you know what they're doing too? They are raising the rent. I can tell you for a 1-bedroom apartment down here about $2,300-$2,500.
That's ridiculous.
That's a mortgage.
That's ridiculous.
You get what I'm saying?
Have a house.
Exactly. And then the thing is, but if you don't have the credit and you don't have that down payment, you can't get a house. So what do these people do? You get what I'm saying? So that's why you have a lot of, and you know what's happening, because all the people from New York are moving down here because the cost of living there is way more expensive than it is here. So they're selling their houses.
They're being pushed out of New York because all the foreigners and the Arabs and the Asians are coming in, and they have cash money.
Bingo. And they're coming down here buying these properties with cash and raising the
This is why we definitely have to get a reality check. Our community are really going to have to fight to stay together, because we need a reality check that running to them is not going to help you.
That's right.
Running together to build.
That's what, because we're stronger together.
Yeah, we're stronger together.
We are.
And we're not saying not to like other people. We're not saying that. We're saying we have to recognize what is really happening.
Yeah.
And where do we go from there? So on your bucket list, you're going to have your brands and everything, because we already manifested that. So we see all that coming, just like this wonderful book you got here, you know. So what would you say? You've given so much great knowledge to us this morning, but you've inspired me. I'm so excited. Yes. We're in the same element here. Yes, the same energy. I love it.
For sure.
So what would you say to not only just young people, but people in general?
Yes.
We can't stress enough. Drop some gems to us. Yes.
Never give up. Keep going. Stop making excuses. Like I said, that's why I got this tattoo right here, so that if I'm having a bad day, somebody got on my nerves or whatever, and I want to cry because I'm a human, I go like this, I see it, and I say, Farah, put your big girl panties on and keep it moving. And here's another thing. A lot of the times, people put themselves in trouble by acting off of emotion, right? That is a huge thing. That's why most of the people are in prison now. They reacted. So what I do is I try to give myself 24 hours to feel what I need to feel, and then 24 hours later, if I'm still upset, then I will address it with whomever.
Right.
But
Never
9 times out of 10,
emotions. Never.
9 times out of 10, I'm over it.
Right.
You know, don't send that email when you're upset. Don't. We just have to sit back and be quiet, and I'm still learning that too.
Okay, we all have to learn
learning
that. Yes, it's hard, but we have to do that. So those gems are no excuses. Believe in what you believe in, and what was the other one? You said it.
Be quiet.
Yeah, be quiet and don't work off emotion.
Oh yes.
And the reason why we don't want to work off emotion, go by your facts.
Yes.
Not your emotion.
That's right.
If you stay with the fact and not the emotion.
Yes, come with your receipts, because you can shut someone down real quick when you have the facts. But when you're just going off of emotion, that's where that whole rebuttal is going to go. And Do your research.
Yes.
Keep learning.
Learning.
Every day
The world
learning.
is your classroom.
That's right. Listen, because the more you learn, the more you can sell, products, you can create products. I learned how to create this planner. Every single page I learned from Canva.com. I learned, and I literally I created this. I went through a couple of different prototypes until I found the one. I said this. I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like.
And God will give you that vision.
Right? Pink and gold. I wanted the pink, the gold.
Yes.
I wanted aesthetics is very important to me.
Very
right?
important.
I wanted
Very
it to
important.
feel expensive, not something flimsy.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so when I finally got it, I said this is the one, and that's when I went to mass production.
Yes.
And here we are. But yeah, those would be my gems. Keep on learning and growing, and ask questions.
Always.
No question
Never
is
be
a dumb
afraid.
question.
That's right. Never be afraid to ask questions. Never be afraid. You can never stop learning.
Yeah, and get
I
that
appreciate
clarity.
you so much.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much. This was wonderful.
Yes.
So where can they find you?
Yeah,
That handle?
so I'm on TikTok, and it is at She Makes No Excuses. So you can find me on there. Follow my journey for building financial wealth.
Yes, and she makes a plan to manifest your dream life.
That's right.
Because we all have a dream.
That's
It
right.
never stops.
All right.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Farah.
you.
I appreciate it. And on that note, we're going to, I need to close that off for a minute, Clay. We'll edit that part because I want to make a toast. So I want us to toast and get her flowers for her.
Aww.
Yeah.